We're going to look at molecules and make some models of molecules today. Hey kids, are you ready to rat-a-task? All right, so we're going to do the experiment Follow the Rules. So grab your little lab notebook and let's get started. So let's set up our experiment and make sure we have all the items we need. So you have your handy checklist here. Toothpicks, check. Large marshmallows, check. Small marshmallows, check. And safety glasses, check. Okay, let's read the Use Tools Like a Chemist section together. So in this experiment, you are going to build models of molecules with marshmallows and toothpicks. And models are a type of tool. So let's ask some questions. Questions are the best way to learn. The first question is, what is a model? Well, a model is a drawing, a computer simulation, or 3D object that is used to represent an idea or concept. All right, next question. Why do scientists use models? Well, models help scientists better understand how an object or an idea is put together or might work. The next question. What are some things models are made of? Marshmallows, toothpicks, clay, plastics, wood, drawings, or they can be made by computers. Okay, so let's practice making your own questions about models and how scientists use them. So we have some question prompts like what happens if, or how much, or does, or will this, or can I? And let's use those prompts to ask your own question. And I have written a couple of my own questions down. What happens if I build a model? What happens if I don't follow the rules? So take a moment and ask your own questions about models. Okay, so we're going to take a quick detour here and I'm going to answer my own questions about what happens if I build a model and what happens if I build a model without following the rules. So here's a model airplane that I built following the rules, and here's a model airplane that I built without following the rules. So let's take a closer look at these two. And what you can see is that the model airplane where I followed the rules looks like a model airplane. If I had built this to scale and put an engine in it, it would probably function like an actual airplane because it has all the right parts. It has the wings in the right place. It has the wheels in the right place and the body and the tail in the right place. And you can see here that I didn't follow the rules for this model airplane. And you can see it's just sort of a mishmash of different parts. Wouldn't function as an actual airplane. Probably wouldn't fly very well. I could maybe throw it across the room. I don't know how far it would go. But anyway, it doesn't look at all like an airplane and isn't going to be a very good model for how airplanes work because it didn't follow the rules. Okay, so this experiment is going to be about what happens when we build a model of molecules without following the rules and the difference that we'll find when we follow the rules. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so turn to the Test, Tinker, Try page and let's read it together. So the first thing we're going to do is test it. It says make as many different molecules as you can with the marshmallows and toothpicks. How many can you make? And can you draw one? So if you haven't already, open up all of your molecules, all of your marshmallows rather, and your toothpicks, and let's go ahead and just assemble a couple of different molecules that we're not going to follow any rules here. Just make as many different kinds of structures or molecules as you can with the molecules in front of us and with the toothpick. So let's get going. Okay, so now you can see I've made a couple of different structure marshmallows. I mean, I just took some the toothpicks and the big marshmallows and the little marshmallows, and I just randomly put them together. And you can see that I have a couple of structures here. And the truth is that if I were to have enough small marshmallows or enough big marshmallows, I could probably make as many marshmallow structures as I wanted to. And so I'm going to say that I could make more than even 100 marshmallow molecules if I had all the pieces for them. And I'm going to go ahead and draw one of them. I have a big marshmallow in this one, and I have a little toothpick coming out, and I have a little marshmallow in this one, and a toothpick coming out this way and attaching to another small marshmallow. So you can see I'm just making some marshmallow structures, and I can draw any one of them. So you go ahead and fill that out. Imagine if you had as many marshmallows, small and large marshmallows, or a whole box of toothpicks, how many different quote-unquote molecules could you make? Okay, so after that, let's go ahead and disassemble all of our little structures so that we can use them again. Okay, so turning the page, the next instruction says this time you can only put 3 toothpicks into a big marshmallow. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll put 3 toothpicks into a big marshmallow. And it doesn't say how to do the 3. You could put them all 3 together, or you could put them each one on a side. Go ahead and put 3 toothpicks in a marshmallow. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways you could do that. You could put the 3 together like this on one side. You could put them this way. Like, again, it doesn't say, so just play with it. Just have fun, play with it, but only use 3 marshmallows. Okay, so go ahead and do that. And then, following this rule, make as many different molecules as you can. A small marshmallow will go on the other end of each toothpick. So go ahead and make as many different marshmallow structures as you can with a big marshmallow and 3 toothpicks. All right, go. So you can see right away that I'm getting to the point where I can put different toothpicks on different sides, but I'm quickly approaching a limit here. I'm going to say that I can make 4 that I would consider unique. If I were to make another one of these on a different side, it wouldn't really be the same. Or it wouldn't really be different, rather it would be more the same. I could make maybe one more like this, sort of more tetrahedral. Maybe it's a little similar to that one though. So you can see right away I am I'm reaching some limits with this, with following these rules. So I'm going to say even those 2 are pretty much the same. So I'm going to say 4. I'm going to say I was able to do 4. You can see 4 isn't an option here. So I'm just going to mark that out and say 4. Maybe you made fewer, maybe you found a way to make more. And then I'm just going to draw one. I like the one with the 3 on the sides. So go ahead and draw a molecule that you made using this rule. Okay. So let's break those apart again, and we'll do the next step. Okay, so the next step is now you can only put 2 toothpicks into a big marshmallow. Follow this rule, make as many different molecules as you can, and a small marshmallow will go on the end of each toothpick. So okay, so again, this time we're only going to use 2 toothpicks on the big marshmallow, and I'm going to put a small on each end. That's the rule. So I can make it that way. I can make it this way. I can make one maybe this way, both on one side again. So I made 3. Let's see if there's any other unique way to make another structure. So you think about it. Think about how many different structures, molecule structures you can make, marshmallow structures you can make with just 2 toothpicks and 1 marshmallow on each end. I'm not seeing a whole lot of variety here. I guess I could do it this way on the side, this sides, because these sides are longer than those sides. That might be one unique way. But other than that, I'm not finding a lot. So you give it a try and see how many different structures you can make. Think about which ones would be unique. So in other words, I could say, well, there's a top and a bottom, and I could put 2 on the bottom here, but really there's not enough definition in this model to say that. So you could see this would be the same as this one. So it's not even it's not a unique one. Even if I tried to flip it over, it's really the same. So again, I'm kind of being limited. I'm able to make 4 that I feel are unique, but I don't really feel like I can make more than that. So you give it a try, write your answer down, and draw a molecule, your molecules in your notebook. So we're going to mark this out to 4. And I'm going to draw one. And there we go. Okay, again, disassemble all of your structures and let's move on to the next one. Okay, so step 4, now you can only put 1 toothpick into the big marshmallow and 1 small marshmallow on the end, and see how many different molecules you can make following this rule. All right, so I can put 1 on the top, I can put 1 on the side. And really, unless I consider a top and the bottom different than each other, I'm able to make 2. I'm only able to make 2, and they're really kind of similar, although one's on the top and one's on the side. I'm going to differentiate that. So you think about how you would make, how many different molecule structures you can make following this rule with 1 toothpick in the big marshmallow and 1, again, only 1 small marshmallow on the end of each. So I was only able to make 2, so I'm going to mark that out and say 2. Really, depending on how you consider your big marshmallow, it could even be just 1. Both answers could be correct, and I'm just going to draw it. Okay, so let's take a look at the next question. Compare the molecules you made when you had rules to follow with the molecules you made when you did not have rules to follow. Which ones are the same? Can you draw 2 that are the same? So I drew 1 here that I didn't end up being able to create following any of the rules. So I didn't make any that looked like some of these. So I'm going to say none are the same. And I didn't actually draw any that were the same, so I'm just going to put a 0 there. I didn't make any molecules that looked like this, the ones that following the rules. All right, the next question is compare the molecules you made when you had rules to follow with the molecules you made when you did not have rules to follow. Which ones are different, and can you draw 2 different? Yes, so the one that I drew was like this with So I'm going to draw that one. It's very different than any of the other molecules I made. And it doesn't look like the same as any of them I made. So I'm going to just draw this last one. And there we go. So it's by following the rules, I was able to make far fewer different molecules. Okay, the next section is on your own. So I want you to play like a scientist. I want you to create your own rules for making molecule models. Tinker with making different models and following your own rules. Ask yourself how many different kinds of molecules you could make. Compare what happens when you follow your rules versus what happens when you don't follow rules. And then the next section is the ask your own questions section. This is the most important part of the Ratataz method. So take your time and ask some questions about models. Ask some questions about making molecules out of models of molecules. Ask some questions about using marshmallows or whatever, plastic or clay or gummy drops. Ask questions about how models might help us understand how molecules, atoms and molecules work. So take your time and ask your own questions. So let's get started. Okay, so I wrote one of my questions down. How can I use a computer to make models of molecules? And the last section is let's play. So I'm going to try to answer this question, and there's different ways I could do that. I could design an experiment, I could go on a field trip, I could do a Google search, and I could call a scientist. And I'm actually going to call a scientist to help me answer this question. So join me in the next video as we talk to a scientist about how computers can make models of molecules. Okay, so the last section is the talk, tell, and dazzle section. And I want you to take your time and think about how you might share your discoveries with others. You can make a video, you can make a drawing, you can do a presentation. This is, again, an important part of learning how to Ratataz, is how to share what you've learned with others. And if you have a video or something you want to share with us, go ahead and send it to us, or put it online, or put it on Instagram or Facebook and hashtag Ratatazzle. But anyway, go have fun, go make some models out of different things, and share with us what you've learned. And join us next time. Thanks.